Well, hello there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite artists of all time. He's an icon, he's a legend, the one and only Michael Jackson. So, I want to talk about my top 10 favorite Michael Jackson songs because Michael Jackson is somebody, who I have admired and been inspired by, and, just genuinely loved his music in general. I consider myself somewhat of a dancer, and to anybody who's a dancer, Michael Jackson is like the epitome of a great dancer, right? And like I just even before I started dancing, I think one of my earliest memories of listening to his music was it must have been around Halloween, because I remember my dad showed me. At the time I didn't know what it was, but I remember it being, a video where zombies, were dancing around, right? And, I later found out that, that video was, Thriller. I remember my dad, showed me more videos of, this artist. And, right, I didn't really think much of it until, I went into, discovering, his music for myself. And that was mostly around high school, because in high school is when I started dancing. I started dancing through Just Dance, the video games, if you guys know those. And they had a spin-off series, blah, 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 The Experience. And one of the games was Michael Jackson, The Experience. So I played that game, where you, would select the Michael Jackson song and, you would do some of the choreographies, some of them official, some of them made for the game, right? And so like I would play the game, but the game didn't really have the official, or like some of the choreographies were simplified in the game. So I would like go to YouTube and like see the actual choreographies. And that's when I like fell in love with, Michael Jackson's dancing and, started, copying his moves or like trying to do his moves, right? And, along with that, I started listening to more Michael Jackson music, and I just fell in love with the messages in his music, the artistry, in his live performances, how much of a showmanship he was, and then I delved into the things he did, to be the great artist that he was, the intense training, and he was really dedicated to being a great artist, being a great dancer, being a great singer, putting on amazing shows, right? He was like on top of the world. And I really admired and got inspired by that. And so this was all happening while I was in high school. So while everybody was listening to like whoever was popular when I was in high school, I was listening to Michael Jackson, and he has just been one of my favorite artists, since then and even now, right? So I decided, I just kind of want to look back and really think like, what are my favorite Michael Jackson songs? And you may know some of them, you may not. So if you don't know some of these, you should listen to them, because I personally think they're pretty good songs. So I guess going from 10 to 1, at number 10 I'm gonna put Earth Song. If you guys are not familiar with that song, it's not one of his banger mega dance hits, right? Earth Song is a very environmentally conscious song. Michael Jackson put out a lot of political songs, songs with really strong messages, from They Don't Care About Us to, Heal the World, Man in the Mirror, right? He even, did the song, We Are the World, right? And again, that's one of the things that really captivated me about, Michael's music when I, really started, diving into his discography. He didn't just have, the Thrillers and the Billie Jeans, those really iconic pop songs. He had some really deep emotional and political songs in his discography, and from those I think Earth's song really, stands out. It starts off, in a way that you can really pay attention to every single word that's being said. Then it starts building up as the song goes on. Eventually, as it gets to like the, you know, second half of the song, he starts, singing with a choir. The singing starts getting really intense. You can feel every single word. And you can tell that, Michael's really passionate about, what he is, singing and saying in the song. And I just think it's a really, powerful song. Going on to number 9, it's gonna be Baby Be Mine from Thriller. This one is a song that, right from the very beginning, it gets you dancing, it gets your head bobbing, right, with the bass line. And then when, the cowbells hit, that is like my favorite part of the song. The cowbells, you, I dare you to listen to the song and not like, bob your head. It's impossible. Michael has, this very passionate and smooth and really fun way of singing in this song. And I think it's, a great disco song. It's a great song to just listen to. It's a song, that puts you in a good mood. At number 8, I'm gonna put You Rock My World. It's a kind of a longer song, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because, it's a good song. With the intro, this song has an intro, and it features Chris Tucker, who from interviews and, from, his comedy routines that I've seen, it sounded like, he was really close with Michael back then. And, he's featured in the song and he's in the intro. It's a really silly intro, right? Where Chris and Michael are, I guess kind of like looking at this girl, and Chris is like, can't, Michael, you can't get that girl. And Michael's like, I can get her, right? But as soon as that intro ends and the song begins, it's such an amazing, transition. If you haven't listened to the song, you have to listen to it. And once the song, finally starts going, it, doesn't let you, stop moving. Even, when it breaks, like towards the end, there's like a little break, and even then you cannot stop moving. I swear to you, you will not, you can't stop dancing while this song is playing. Okay, from there, we're gonna go to number 7. It's gonna be Billie Jean. And okay, so I know, you're gonna be like, okay, Billie Jean, that's, a really iconic song. Why is it so low on your list? But hear me out. So, it is iconic. From the beginning, right as the song starts, you hear those drums, and then, you hear that bass, and, from those first moments, you already know the song. You envision, you envision the glove. That's where the glove comes from, right? The glove, the the moonwalk. You envision just, this iconic image of Michael, right? And it's not to say that, it's not, a bad song, because it's definitely not. It is such a banger, right? But personally, I think there's a few, better songs than Billie Jean in, Michael's discography. But again, it is an iconic song, and I would get killed if I didn't include it in my list. So Billie Jean, you know the song. I know you know the song. Yeah. Following that, we go to number 6 with Dirty Diana. This is a song that I think proves that, Michael could do more than just, pop. He was known as the king of pop, right? But this song is pure rock. It is, passionate, it's dirty, it's nasty, it is, raw. It is angry. It's a really, dark song. And I think Michael does a great job in, capturing that atmosphere. And yeah, for lack of better words, Dirty Diana, it's just a really freaking hot song, in my opinion. Going on to number 5, I'm gonna put The Lady in My Life from Thriller again. This song, the last couple of songs, were very, high energy. But this song, it's a little bit more smooth. Michael sings in this really silky smooth voice, right? The bass is sexy. I think really one of the highlights of the song is the bass. especially the bass slaps towards the second half of the song. We hear these bass slaps, and those are my favorite. And then the other thing that I like about the song is, how, again, closer to the end of the song, it like crescendos, and then it boom, calms down, and it's a really cute song. And I personally think it's kind of underrated, in the Thriller album. So if you don't know the song, definitely listen to it. Number 4 is gonna be Human Nature, also from Thriller. And it's another slow song. I feel like it's a little bit more well known than Lady in My Life. And when I think of Human Nature, I think of his live performance in, I don't know the tour, I don't know the country he was in when this video was taken, but there's this video on YouTube of him performing this song, right? And as he's getting I believe it's towards the second part of the song, right, he like stops for like a whole minute, and he's just standing there. The crowd is cheering literally for a whole minute. He literally doesn't move. You just hear the crowd singing, or not singing, but like cheering. Oh my goodness. Honestly, that live performance alone like proves to me why, Michael was such an icon. Like literally he could just like stand in place and do nothing, and people would like go wild, right? That is like literally the definition of a legend, right? Human Nature, it's a cute song, right? It is a love song again. The chorus, it's catchy, it's fun to sing. Yeah, but I think it's this high for me just because of that live performance. I can't hear this song and not think of that performance. Going on to number 3, it's gonna be Thriller. Finally, Thriller, from the iconic album that is Thriller. What I like about Thriller is it's just iconic. Like of course it's a Halloween song, right? Which I guess in some ways could be a bad thing, right? Because it's like Christmas music. You only tend to listen to it around Christmas, right? But no, I think this song is a song that if you play it around Halloween, that's great, that's a plus, right? But any other time of the year you can still play it, and it's a banger, right? People know it, people love it. Not to mention like Michael's iconic choreography, and his look in the music video, right? And the music video, yeah, the bass synth I think is the key to this song, right? And of course we have Vincent Price, who does the monologue towards the end of the song. Yeah, this song is just iconic from beginning to end. But for being such an iconic song, I still think that there are 2 other songs that can top it. And at number 2, it's gonna be Off the Wall, from the Off the Wall album. So before Thriller there was Off the Wall, and the title track Off the Wall is this song that starts off with these very kind of like ghoulish laughs, but in a very friendly and kind of like silly way. So in that way it kind of like sounds like a precursor, like the younger version of Thriller, but it's not really necessarily a Halloween track like Thriller. No, it's more like a disco track, and I think the horns in this track are my favorite part of the song. Yeah, it's just a very fun song. Michael just sounds like he is having a really fun time singing this track, especially at the end, with the background vocals. It's just very fun. It's disco. It's really a song to let loose and just dance and have a fun time, have a good time. But so at number 1, my all-time favorite Michael Jackson song is gonna have to be Rock With You. It's another disco song, has you dancing from start to finish. But I think my favorite, thing about the song is its music video. Michael with you know, the light in the back, right? His sparkly outfit. It is iconic. This is an iconic song, and you know, it's just a really fun song. And you know, I think Michael did, you know, for being known the king of pop, I think his earlier years, you know, when he was doing, you know, Thriller and Off the Wall and doing disco, I think that's when where he really shined. And I think this track is, you know, the best example of, you know, what people loved about Michael Jackson's music. And it's what I love about Michael. Yeah, I think you know, Michael's music is timeless, and you know, he is a legend, and he will always be a legend. And I just, you know, wanted to show a little appreciation to my favorite artist, because he really is, you know, my favorite artist. You know, like I said, as a dancer myself, I, you know, look at him as, you know, a great inspiration, as, you know, what, you know, you can achieve you know, with dance. And yeah, hopefully you guys, you know, learned a little bit more about him if you, you know, didn't know that much about him. You know, hopefully, you know, you got, you know, some nice music recommendations. But yeah, if you are, you know, a Michael fan, you know, I'm interested to know, you know, how your top 10, you know, compares to mine. So yeah, so let me know in the comments, you know, what are your favorite Michael Jackson songs, or if you think that I am, you know, not giving enough praise to, you know, a particular song of his. But yeah, so give me a like, you know, if you enjoyed my little discussion. Feel free to subscribe. I love talking about music, so, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, using this channel of mine to, you know, share my thoughts on music and, you know, my favorite artists, you know, share my opinions of the newest songs, or of, you know, anything music related, because, you know, I just love listening to music, dancing to music, and, you know, talking about music. So, yeah, subscribe, give me a like, and, you know, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.